Hello and welcome back to the Cheltenham Festival. Already getting through the card quite quickly, and this time we've got to the Queen Mother Champion Chase. There's a couple of important non-runners here. John Bond for Nicky Henderson. His horses aren't right. He's taken them all out now for the rest of the week. I don't know really what's going on there. And another English challenger that I fancied to come in about third there was Boot Hill. So it leaves us number 2, Captain Guinness, number 3, Edward Stone, number 4, El Fabiolo, number 5, Alexia Danu, and number 6, Funambule Sivola, and number 7, Gentleman de Me. So just the 6 go to post for the Queen Mother Champion Chase, which is some good money there, really. £225,080 to winning connections. So let's go back into my spreadsheet. After the £7 that we were up yesterday, we're now losing £7 today, so we're exactly level, but I haven't really cut it so far in this first day and a half at Cheltenham. But our top selection here and only selection is going to be El Fabiolo. It was John Bond, but I think Nicky Henderson's done right by pulling all these horses out. So let's have a look now at the silly price. Yeah, 1.27. It's hardly even worth putting any money on it, really. But for information purposes only, we'll get the calculator out again. 1.27 times 50 would equal £63.50. So it would be a profit of £13. Again, if you're looking for forecast bets and each ways and distances, you know, if you've got to have a bet, that's most probably the way to go. But I have a chance with Elixir de Nou. I would think at 95, it's a very, very good bet if you were looking for an each way proposition there or a forecast. Let's have a look at, even without the favourite, I suppose, you've got a market there. This isn't for me. I just like doing the win and that's it. But Elixir de Nou or Nuts or whatever you want to pronounce it, it's 13 without the favourite, if you were going to go down that road. And then I've got Edward Stone after that, that's trading about 6-4 without the favourite. But these aren't markets that I'd really want to get into. They do A versus B. You've got Edward Stone against Captain Guinness. And yeah, I'd most probably go for Edward Stone there, about 2-1 on, but yep, showing at 1.87. And Gentleman to Me against Elixir de Nou and that. You could get 13-8 on that, so that would be something I looked at, but I'm only here for the win part, so it's just El Fabiolo for me. I'm just expecting him to canter round, and that will be about it, I suppose. But there's some really weak races at Cheltenham this week, but taking nothing away from these short-priced favourites, that they've all won well. Really, really won well. The Willie Mullins treble yesterday and the 2 he's had today have run really, really solidly. So El Fabiolo, just expecting that to breeze home as well. But let's hope it's a very good performance and wins it really impressively. I think we're going to go over now to ITV.
Down there. Get down to watch. Good luck. Thank you.
That's Holly Wiltshire, who was a winner the other day. You were there. We were all there, actually, at the Thoroughbred Industry Employee Award. She won Best Newcomer, a star she is, and there's her beloved Edwardstone. What's happening, Ollie?
Well, on the exchanges, 4.1 million has been traded. 3.7 million of that has been on El Fabiolo. To say there's a lot riding on this race, not just for that man, Willie Mullins, but for the punters at home, is an understatement.
Megan, your politologue was second 1 year, came out and won it. Captain Guinness, how big a danger to the favourite?
On evidence, he's got a lot more to do, hasn't he, and a lot more to find. He's been behind El Fabiolo on a couple of attempts now. You can see these speed balls. They're all getting a bit revvy. A couple of them starting to really sweat, wanting to get on with things now.
And he's obviously going to be prominent from what Alan King said. How difficult a job has Tom Cannon got here, AP?
Well, you've got to do what's going to suit your horse best, and you've got to try and, you know, as Ruby said, you've got to go through different stages of the race and try and, you know, slow it down and quicken it up whenever you're making ground offences. Just try and make it as awkward for El Fabiolo as you can. That's all you can do. But you kind of have to do your own thing as well.
In the yellow on the far side, will Freddie take all of this in his stride?
He is honestly like a mould of Harry Cobden, so laid back. Obviously riding for his uncle Joe, so I think that will give him confidence too, as well as knowing this horse inside and out, and that's a lot.
I think he'll jump out pretty handy. I thought Gentleman Demi was the most likely pace setter. But yeah, we'll have to see. They'll all jump off very, very handy, and then just see who's the fastest, basically.
Good luck to Willie Mullins on the cusp of an amazing sporting feat and 100 winners at the Cheltenham Festival. Good luck to the 9 players left in the ITV7 going for £200,000. Guess what? All 9 tickets are on his horse, El Fabiolo. If this horse wins, we'll see history and an ITV7 win of 200 grand. Let's see it play out in the company of our big race caller, Richard Hoyles.
Thank you, AJ. The Betway Queen Mother Champion chase starts right at the foot of the elongated home straight. 4 fences in the straight on the first circuit, and then once they're on the round course, then just 2 the next time around. Keep an eye on Edwardstone, who jumps off prominently, but is going to have some company as they set out on the Betway Queen Mother Champion chase trail, and Edwardstone moves to the lead, attended by Elixir de Nuts, as they race towards the first. Over in third is El Fabiolo, rather typical, landing almost on all fours, not as fluent as Fabiolo Sibylla on the outside, then Captain Guinness, and the other Mullins runner, Gentleman Demi, mindful of the front runners, is settled at the back of the field as they take fence number 2. So Edwardstone looking to repeat the front-running tactics that was successful at Newbury, but it's going to face a little bit more pressure from Elixir de Nuts, the grey horse on the outside. Captain Guinness, who was dropped out 12 months ago, is also a little closer in third. Fabiolo Sibylla in the toothpaste sleeves on the outside of the double green of El Fabiolo. And last of all is Gentleman Demi as they reach fence number 3. And again, they're all to the other side safely. So out in the lead, Edwardstone. Now relatively unpressed, heads towards the fourth, getting into a nice rhythm. Over from Elixir de Nuts, who races in second. Captain Guinness on the inside of El Fabiolo. And on the outside, Fabiolo Sibylla. Gentleman Demi last of the 6. But the 6 really settled, strung out by around about 3 or 4 lengths. And Edwardstone has now got rid of anyone who's going to press him and can just concentrate on his own game. And that game is making the running over fence number 5. Edwardstone fluent, Elixir de Nuts dragged behind. Oh no, Fabiolo's all but gone. El Fabiolo, and indeed I'm not sure he's going to be pulled up, I think. Paul Townend doesn't look like he's going to persevere. The legs were sprayed behind, and El Fabiolo is the first reverse for the short price favourites of the Mullins. He hit the fence hard and maybe just went slightly wrong behind as Edwardstone reaches for the next. So Edwardstone, Tom Cannon possibly unaware at this stage. The other riders around El Fabiolo will know. Paul hasn't got off El Fabiolo, so I think it was just a race-ending error. But he has been pulled up. Edwardstone from Fabiolo Sibylla, Captain Guinness, Elixir de Nuts, and Gentleman Demi as they race over. And there, Fabiolo Sibylla wasn't that high. As the runners continue their progress, just to confirm, Paul Tanner has not dismounted, so El Fabiolo looks fine. It was just an error that put him out of the race, even though he didn't completely come down. 5 from the finish, Edwardstone, over from Captain Guinness. Who of these horses can seize the opportunity? The door that was opened by El Fabiolo's absence. In third place is Elixir de Nuts. Gentleman Demi, reminder, still a possibility of a Willie Mullins 100 on the outside of Fabiolo Sibylla. Last ditches fall from the finish. Edwardstone over in the lead. From Captain Guinness in second. Elixir de Nuts is third. Gentleman de Me in fourth. But Amble Civilla is beginning to struggle as they make their way now downhill. Edwardstone out in front for Tom Cannon. Captain Guinness in second place in the beige jacket. Rachel Blackmore. Freddie Gingelarski. Elixir de Nuts for more. Gentleman de Me. Mark Walsh in fourth place. Still travels comfortably. They've dropped for Amble Civilla. A quartet of runners head down towards the third last for the Betway Queen Mother Champion Chase. Edwardstone with Captain Guinness on the outside. Elixir de Nuts having to work hard now to maintain his position. Gentleman de Me has moved through into third. Edwardstone another good leap matched by Captain Guinness. In third place, Gentleman de Me is edging closer now as Mark Walsh, well aware of what went on earlier, moves him through into third as they now begin the turn towards the second last in the Betway Queen Mother. And it's Edwardstone with Captain Guinness travelling strongly. Last year's runner-up, Gentleman de Me, trying to get on terms and is now being asked in third place. They've got rid of Elixir de Nuts and also Amble Civilla, the final bend in the Betway Queen Mother Champion Chase, and it's Captain Guinness who goes past Edwardstone. Gentleman de Me in third. Captain Guinness of Edwardstone has come down when in second place and looking beaten, horse on his feet towards the last, an instant back Queen Mother. Captain Guinness over. Gentleman de Me has 2 legs to find, still over a furlong to race. It's Captain Guinness drifting over to the near side, still has the lead. Gentleman de Me is edging closer on the far side. Captain Guinness all out, but he's holding on, and it's Captain Guinness. The door was open, and Rachel Blackburn, Henry de Bromhead, and Captain Guinness take advantage. Gentleman de Me in second, Amble Civilla in third place. Looks as if he is the only other finisher. Checking Edwardstone, he is fine. Tom Cannon is fine. Elixir de Nuts was pulled up. Captain Guinness, runner-up 12 months ago. Had to be patient. It's the best way for your Guinness, and 17-2 has won for Rachel Blackmore and Henry de Bromhead in an incident-packed race. El Fabiolo out, and just looking at him, he has been dismounted, I think, now over on the far side by Paul Taylor, but he does appear to be moving okay. Where do you start? Well, Captain Guinness's success is a good starting point.
Sir Anthony McCoy, if ever there was a race and an event to sum up the unpredictability of sport and the Cheltenham Festival, we've just seen it, haven't we?
Yeah, you can't beat having a bit of luck. Captain Guinness had that, had 13 goals in Grade 1s and never won. Managed to win the champion chase. You can see here Fabiolo being led back. I think he let fly and just lost his hind end, but hopefully he's okay. And the race changed and Edwardstone obviously fell, but it's all about the winner, Captain Guinness. Brilliant for Henry de Bromhead, brilliant for Rachel Blackmore. It is the champion chase and it is a brilliant race to win.
And it's all about when you get the opportunity, the door opens, you take full advantage, and Rachel's done just that.
Well, the biggest shock of the afternoon has arrived for us there. El Fabiolo falls and leaves the door open, as they said there, to Captain Guinness. So a good winner there for Rachel Blackmore, but not for us. But wouldn't be such a sensible thing to be betting at those kind of prices anyway. But I did think it was going to be a stroll in the park for El Fabiolo and just breeze home with ease. But even if he would have stayed up, would he have beaten Captain Guinness? Those questions will never get answered. But anyway, that's the 4th race at Cheltenham, done and dusted. Don't forget the Glenfarclas is not coming next. That's been abandoned. And our next race will be the time as it was scheduled for. We've got a bit of a gap now between this and the next race, the Grand Annual. So that will be off at 4:50, and I'll be back about 10 minutes before. And there is a non-runner in that now, and that's Dancing on My Own. That's a Henry de Bromhead horse there. That's out. And we'll be back, as I say, with 10 minutes to go on that.